partner, he's on the phone dealing with some trucking stuff. This is another excuse me, I'm sorry guys. But this is another episode of Eavesdropping Knowledge where we share entrepreneurship and things, all dispatching, importances of dispatching and stuff, all entrepreneurship. Today we have our special guest, Jack Dasher from OTR Solutions, which is a factoring company that most people use when they're in the trucking industry. So, Jack, you want to introduce yourself and tell the people?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Ebony said, I'm Jack Dasher. I work at OTR Solutions. We're a factoring company, branching out into a few other things as well. We've been in the game a long time, so I work with Ebony almost on a daily basis. Carriers come to me, they come to her, we kind of refer them around and make sure that they're set up for success. If you don't know what factoring is, basically carrier runs a load, gets their invoice, they submit it to us directly, and we handle all the billing and collecting for them. We pay them on the front end, so they're not having to wait out the net terms. With the way things are going now, it's more important than ever. It's really, helping people stay afloat, and that's what we're there to do.
Okay, Jack. Can you tell the people the difference in between recourse and non-recourse factoring?
Yeah.
If you can shed a little light on that.
Absolutely. So most run-of-the-mill factoring companies are going to be recourse. What that really means is they're still going to purchase your invoices, pay you on the front end, but if anything goes wrong, if for whatever reason the brokerage doesn't pay them as the factoring company, or there's an error that they didn't fix on the front end, they're coming back to you as the carrier for that money, which basically means, you thought you've been paid for 20-something days, and now they're taking that money back from you. Non-recourse takes all the risk out of that. That's what OTR offers. It's our bread and butter program. Basically, once we approve your invoice and everything is good to go, that money is in your pocket to stay. We're taking full liability for your invoices. If something goes wrong, we're the ones taking the loss. So it really gives you that ability to not worry about it once you've paid on that invoice.
Okay. I know recently OTR went ahead and changed their name. Can you kind of shed light on why you guys went from OTR Business Capital to OTR Solutions?
Yeah, absolutely. We just kind of wanted to change the direction that we're in. Obviously, factoring is our main product. That's the main thing we're giving to these carriers. But, with the importance of fuel cards, we rolled out a program called Elevate, where we're basically professionalizing a business for some of these new owner ops that are just starting their LLCs, getting them the, xyztrucking.com, that, the things that brokerages are really looking for when they're thinking about, setting up that new carrier to run their freight. Obviously, we offer, rolled out some same day funding methods, which have been a major hit, especially getting a carrier paid on Friday instead of having them wait till a Monday. I mean, that's a world of difference, especially if they're doing weekend loads to get fuel. Fuel card, still very apparent with the way diesel's going, more important than ever. We've upgraded that program a little bit more. It's to the point where if you're getting set up for factoring, I'm sending you a fuel card just because if you need it, it's there for you. And that's kind of the whole main game, offering a whole solutions package to a carrier and their company instead of just being the factoring company that they know.
That can be a big game changer especially for a lot of newcomers that's coming into the trucking industry, because I see it all the time on my side where these carriers, these new companies that's coming into the trucking industry, they're basically borrowing money against loads that they're running to even fuel up. With diesel so high, it's kind of making things ridiculous. Like, it's making it so unaffordable for, you know, some people to survive at this point. I know a lot of people are shutting their companies down, or they're just not moving their trucks. Can you shed a little light on kind of, I guess, a little bit of the market, and then I'll let my partner CJ finish off, you know, since he wanted to come back and join us.
Hey, I apologize. I was doing dispatch. Had a caller pretty much trying to get a trailer fixed. But go ahead, Jack, man. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean,
hold on. First of all, what type of jersey do you got on, brother?
Huh?
What type of jersey do you got on right now, brother? Hey, man, come on, man. You know you guys ain't doing nothing this year.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know you guys ain't doing nothing this year, baby.
I grew up a Georgia fan, but I'd part ways when I went off to school. Okay, I was up until 18.
But nah, go ahead. What you was about to say, man, about the market?
Yeah, it's weird times right now. You know, we're coming off of the height of the pandemic freight, which you know, unfortunately led a lot of people into this market and starting companies, and it's just not what it was 6, 8, 9 months ago. Rates have dropped, and so one of the things, especially that Ebony harps on as well, is these companies got to know your bottom dollar, because fuel is outrageous right now. You got to know, you know, the rates aren't going to be as high as they were. So you need to know how much you're spending to run your freight. Otherwise, you're not set up for success, because, you know, there's still good rates out there, but you got to be able to find them. You got to have a good dispatcher that can find them for you. And you got to know what you're spending at the end of the day.
That's definitely fact. Definitely fact. What, do you know? Well, I feel like certain areas. I know what areas do you know of that are good like right now? Pretty much like Wisconsin, Chicago, Indiana, like Michigan.
See a lot of Midwest stuff right now. There's still some, you know, I see the one-off coast-to-coast loads. Most of those guys are well connected and they're already set up, you know, almost weeks in advance. And it's fluctuating. That's what is the scariest thing. You know, one day it's in the South and then it's dead in the South for 2 days. It's really not located in one place. And a lot of this holiday freight that we expected, you know, especially this week, next week, and then it really drops off, has already been run from what I'm seeing. It's really not what it was last year. Obviously, you know, there's certain exceptions with last year with the pandemic still being the case, but I mean, it's drying up a lot compared to what it was.
Nah, definitely. It's crazy you said that the holiday freight, because I moved some good some good rates with Christmas trees last week, and I called back, all of them were gone. Now it's in North Carolina. Now it was in Michigan. Now the good Christmas tree rates are in North Carolina. I'm like, good grief. And I'm trying to get over to North Carolina right now to move some Christmas trees. But you're definitely right. I don't know if Ebony asked you this, but if she did, I'm gonna ask it again. How did you get started with OTR? You know, I like to start there with.
So it was a crazy thing. It just kind of fell in my lap. I had some actually high school buddies that had worked in different parts of the company. I saw there was an opening, you know, graduating during the pandemic, moving out, trying to find that first gig, and it just kind of fit the perfect picture. I started. Things have gone great so far. It's really taught me a lot about how America works, first of all. And a lot of people don't understand if they're not involved in the industry whatsoever. So I've been with OTR ever since. You know, it's been fantastic. I've worked with Ebony for almost, I think, a little over a year now as well. Made some great relationships with it, learned a lot. And, you know, it's great. Talk to new people every single day.
I got a question. When you sign up new carriers, what percentage would you say are, I'm saying new carriers, I'm saying new to OTR, what percentage would you say are new, like they just got their authority and are just like more so, veterans in the game, but they're just moving to a different factoring company or trying factoring for the first time?
Sure. It varies. I'd say, we have a dedicated team to new authorities just because of the sheer volume of them. I still, despite the slowdown in the market, new interests are still relatively high. I'd say that's a large majority of it. The team that I work on and myself deal with some of the larger companies that have been around and have that, history with the industry and factoring. I'd still say, first thing a new authority is looking for is factoring because they need the cash flow right away. Some of the vets don't necessarily need it. They've got relationships with certain brokers where they have a 2-day 1% quick pay where it's not necessarily needed. But we still deal with a handful of them. There's the thing a lot of people don't understand that is as you grow and scale your business, the cash flow need is still there. So a lot of these companies, even with 20, 25 trucks, are still needing factoring.
So people signing on with OTR. Now I'm sorry, I keep dealing with dispatching. These are not females texting me, but pretty much, what are the benefits for not dispatchers? I'm gonna ask that second, but a trucking company signing on with OTR.
The main one is peace of mind because we run the full non-recourse program. They know that once their invoice is approved, they're getting paid and it's staying with them. That's not always the case in other factoring companies. There's occasional chargebacks. The fear that, okay, I got $2,200 in my pocket, but 20 days later they may be coming back for it. We make sure everything's done right on the front end, so those worries are never there. As I kind of mentioned, we've got fuel cards, we've got same-day payment methods. We can build a website for, let's say, the new owner op that started their LLC. We can build a website for them, get them, James at xyztrucking.com email distros, just for them when they start reaching out to these brokerages. But I mean, we're a full service company. If there's an issue, we've got an answer for it. We've got connections for if a company's trying to finance more equipment. If they need factoring, we got them. If they need fuel, we got them. We can advance a carrier up to 50% of their invoice on the front end, just because we know the way diesel is right now. So if they come to us with a problem, almost 100% of the time we have an answer for them.
What's the normal percentage you guys charge for just average carrier that comes to you guys?
It ranges from 3 to 4% generally. We are a little bit higher than most just because we do offer the better program, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Obviously, that fluctuates with volume and amounts of trucks and equipment types. We make sure that the rates match basically what they're bringing to the table because we're not here to rip anyone off. But I'd say generally 3 to 4% is where we start out.
No, that's normal. So we heard where pretty much what the benefits for a trucking company come. What's the benefits for a dispatcher partnering up with OTR?
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we do offer partnerships with dispatchers. Any carries you guys send over, first of all, we make sure to hit referral checks out and eventually start making some margin deals with you guys just because you're bringing business to us. As far as the day-to-day, if you're linked up with one of our carriers, we can have your service fee taken out of those invoices for you. So you're not having to get credit cards on the back end, track down checks, whatnot. We basically pull that for you at no fee. We hold that in account for you until every Wednesday, and then we direct deposit it to you at no fee as well.
So let me ask you, somebody has asked a question because we see floating around, it's a new rule that's about to drop from the FMCSA about you guys basically taking a fee out for dispatching. Have you seen that yet as far as that news?
What's going
on? They talking about I guess it's a big thing of where you got some dispatchers out here double brokering or people just double brokering loads and basically
trying to put rules around dispatching, right, and just try to weed out and just, like I said, just put rules around dispatching right now.
Yeah, but basically FMCSA came out with some guidelines on basically how to distinguish exactly what a dispatcher is and kind of draw a dark line between being a dispatcher and basically brokering without a license. And one of the guidelines that was listed was you cannot be paid directly from a factoring company. That's what the documentation said.
Really?
So, I mean, there was a whole bunch of other rules and everything. It's out there on the website. Like I have the document, I have the PDF or whatever. So I'll send it to Karis and Ebony once this is over because I just got it like probably about an hour or two ago. But looking at just like the high points, that was kind of one of the things because when I went over the list, most of the things that were applied is like stuff that we don't do anyway, so it wouldn't affect us at all. But that was one thing where I was like, okay, I do know some dispatchers who do get paid directly from the factoring company, and that might kind of be a gray area. I mean, I think it's just the thing was it was saying that if you violate any of these rules and they actually try and I don't know if it's prosecution, whatever, they fine you. They were saying they could be a $10,000 fine per incident or per violation or whatever. So that's kind of might give you a little bit of pause to kind of take a look at what you're doing and what's going on. So I mean, but that literally just came out today, so I know it's going to take a while for the wheels to turn and things to change. Yeah,
obviously, this is the first time hearing of it. If we need to make changes, we certainly will to see what we can do. Obviously it's been a huge success for dispatchers. So we're going to see what we can possibly do.
It truly has, because that's why I think I'm about to pivot up out of just this dispatching shit, period, because I know I was getting paid through the factoring company, and I'm dead serious. I'm not going to chase nobody for no money or people, reporting fraud on their credit card. You see a lot of bullshit trying to chase your money down. It's already hard for carriers now. So, what you think now? I mean, in 2018, 2019, what people are not talking about, we was not in a recession. Regardless if the rates was low then, we were not in a recession, nor was the fucking diesel this fucking high, right? So all the other bullshit that be on the internet can miss me with that. But I'm not saying I'm stepping out of logistics, period. I'm just stepping out of this fucking dispatching shit, period. Because I ain't got time to be chasing nobody down for my money. That's point blank, period. And I'm not finna go back to invoicing motherfuckers separately. That was a big help for me.
And one of my colleagues just hit me and said, we've heard about it. We're reaching out to FMCSA for clarification on what we can do. Just because, I mean, it's one thing to hit back down on double brokering because that
because I've been fucked over some money, so yeah. I'm not doing it.
But we'll have to get clarification and see what we can do. There's two ways to spin it, but I don't see why that rule is even in place. I mean, this is set for dispatchers that are running clean shops. And it seems like an attack on that, which doesn't make any sense to me, but we'll see what comes from it. We should hear back from the FMCSA soon, kind of pivot from there, see what we can do.
I feel like you have a clear, concise dispatching agreement, and especially if you have the limited power of attorney, I honestly don't see why getting paid from the factoring. Like, if it's in your agreement, you're saying, look, I'm just booking loads and I'm just, handling paperwork and everything. And then, like I said, you have the limited power of attorney as well. Like, I don't understand why that should be an issue. I feel like OTR and, some of them, I'm not going to obviously name them because you're here represented, but some of the other factoring companies, like maybe they can, get together and just be like, hey, we'll slow down. Like, we understand we don't want a double broker. We don't want any bad business. But as far as, just paying dispatch out of the factoring, like Ebony said, it's just like I'm dealing with that right now. Like I'm chasing an invoice and I probably won't get paid. It is what it is. And it would be great if literally, I've had that one time with one of my carriers, and it was literally, like you said, they paid a direct deposit, and it was every week, and it was just like, it was like refreshing to me, because like I didn't have to worry about it, I didn't have to think about it, just boom, showed up in my account. But yeah, I mean, I definitely feel her pain, especially like you said, when these guys are on the road and they're paying for fuel, they're getting meals, they, like in her case, they're doing hot shots, so they got to do lodging and everything. When they're looking at the list of bills and then the list of money coming in, they're literally saying to themselves, what can I not pay? What can I, or what can I, I'm not gonna say that. What can I pay late? Or what can I, kind of drag out? And unfortunately, most of the time we're going to be at the top of the list because it's like, oh, they'll understand and they'll get it. And it's just, they kick the can down the road. You look up 2-3 weeks later, no money. And it's just, it's a bad situation to be in. So I hope you guys can, I know you're all competitors and everything, but on this one, man, y'all could come together like the Avengers and kind of, stick.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Because like you said, first of all, it's the first thing a carrier says, well, can it wait a week? And when it's already taken care of, they don't even think about it. So I'm with you there. Something will be done about it.
I got you. Let me ask another question for drivers out there. Do you guys buy people out of their contracts?
We do. We do buyouts almost on a daily basis these days. A lot of people, especially this season, is when a lot of companies are finishing up their contracts. They put in their term notices and they're shopping around. That's something we do. If there are termination fees, we're always willing to work with carriers, even if it comes down to splitting it, because, if you want to switch, we're not going to stop you. So, yes, we do. We purchase entire agings. We have a full dedicated buyout team now as well that helps carriers through the entire process. So we're very hands-on with those. They happen on a weekly basis.
Is it like a certain limit that they can have to have, or like,
no,
or is it y'all buy anybody like $2 billion? Y'all buying them out?
We bought agings that were $1,000. We bought them that were $2 million. As long if they want to switch over, we got them.
$2 million. Yeah, I got money. Okay. All right, big ball over there.
That's why they changed their name to OTR Solutions. You heard what the man said. They help them build websites because, of course, a lot of them don't think about those things. A lot of them come with a regular Gmail. So, of course, that's why a lot of them don't have business credit, right? They don't list their company on 411 or Google, things of that nature. They're not even structuring their company to run it as a big corporation. They all thinking small, right? So they don't want to do those extra steps. So there we go. No, I'm a little irritated. I am, because I'm not. I'm tell you.
Girl, go get you a glass of wine over there.
Hey, I'm about to go smoke a joint after this because I am hot. No, I'm already. No, what irritates me is even like now. No, a lot of carriers think that these rates going to get better, and they're not. I don't even see them getting better in 2 years, right? Because you got to think about it. After 2023, 2024, we're going into election year, right? This shit is not coming back. Y'all can get COVID numbers out y'all head, right? You turn the downloads. You don't want to go certain places like he just said. The Midwest is, and I tell my carriers that now, Midwest is where you want to place your truck. I'm sorry to say, get you some chains on your tires, do whatever you need to do if you want to stay in the transportation industry, because this what comes with it, right? You didn't do your due diligence to research anything, but everybody think it's a quick get rich scheme type thing, and it's not.
Woo over there. Now we definitely feel you over there, sis. What do you think the industry gonna be at in 2023, Jack? I think Ebony asked you that, but I was on the phone.
Yeah, like I kind of mentioned, I think a lot of expectations right now are based off of COVID numbers, and it's just unrealistic. I see it every day. People thinking they're not getting $3 a mile, they're not running the truck, and it's just not the case anymore. Historically, it's always a bit slower in November, December, January, and then it gets back going in February. But we just don't know after coming off of a year like we just had. Obviously everyone hopes that it gets back going a little bit, but it's the slowest it's been in a long time. And like Ebony said, it's in a recession as well. So when money is that much more important, fingers crossed. I'm assuming February, middle of February, it starts to jump back a little bit just based on historic data. But until then, it's a toss-up.
I got you. I got you. I got
Jack, I need you to keep it 100%, 1,000% real with me, okay?
Sure.
So, like, I'm like numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and how long you been with OTR now?
Almost a year and a half.
Okay, so you kind of caught like the tail end of COVID and everything. You saw
Yep.
like the tail end of COVID boom. Okay, so like you said before, you said a bunch of people were jumping in because they saw these COVID numbers, and then they had the stimulus checks and everything. People were going putting down payments on trucks and all that other stuff.
Yep.
So this is my question, right? And I know you don't have. I mean, obviously, it's not trying to down you or anything, but you don't have the history to kind of see kind of before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you is, during COVID, I know you probably saw people dropping out, like basically giving up their authorities, getting out of the business, getting out of the industry, and then you saw people coming in. So like the ratio of people coming in versus people going out, how was it like kind of towards the end and whenever you started during COVID, and how is it now? Like, is it like, would you say it's like 1-to-1 or like 1-to-2, like coming in and going out?
There's barely anyone closing shop during COVID. Rates were just too good. There was too much freight for anyone to be going, and there was I can't even count the amount of new LLCs we talk to every single day, just because everyone's got a friend tell them get in while you can. Yeah. Now there's a handful. There's a lot more companies dropping out. I'm seeing a lot more guys that are just getting their authorities not being able to make it, so they're leasing on places because they still want to be a part of it, but they don't have the history, to be able to link up with some of these brokerages. They're going to deny them based on age, things like that. But yeah, no, I mean, the amount of people that thought they were going to do it and aren't now and are closing shop is way higher than during COVID. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this is my thing. Like, I talked to Kara about it. I think that it's just like the natural market cycle of things. Like there has to be like a purge. And I feel like, I'm not saying the rates will come back, but I feel like there's an oversupply of trucks right now. And that's one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why rates are depressed. Because there's so many trucks, and these guys are literally, because I see it like every day, these guys are struggling. They're doing anything and everything they can to keep their trucks running. So they're running freight for numbers that really don't make sense. And because, like Ebony always stresses, they don't know their numbers. They're just like, 175 a mile, okay, I'll take it. Like I just got to get from point A to point B. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't make sense for them because, they came in, we know that a year, 9 months ago, trucks were, probably double, if not 75% more than what they were, pre-COVID or whatever. So they're overpaying for trucks. They're overpaying for equipment. If they got a trailer, they didn't buy it, they leased it, but they leased it at this exorbitant rate. So their monthly lease payment is crazy. So they're just basically trying to keep the lights on. They're doing what they got to do. And I'm not trying to be negative or anything, but I just feel like once the system kind of purges out a lot of these companies, again, rates maybe not coming all the way back up, but I just feel like, supply and demand. If brokers have less trucks and less guys running this super cheap freight, then it'll be like a little, fuel has to come down too, though. They got to do something about the fuel because it's ridiculous, especially when you go up north.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. You hate to say that a purge is going to help because it's people going out of business, but at the end of the day, it's true. There's no room to wiggle on rates now because so many people just need to say yes and run it.
It's crazy, man. I was in Texas today, and they wanted me to drive, I think, 500 miles for $600. And people were taking it, man, like hotcakes. 500 miles for $600. But it is what it is. We got to put up with it. Dang it, what was my next question for you, man? I think we covered everything. I got a question for you about your gas cards because that's one thing. The fuel is high right now. If you can go into more details of the benefits that y'all provide for the gas card and explain that. So, because I'm going to replay this on our YouTube page, and some drivers are going to want to know the benefits of y'all gas card and how it's set up.
Yeah, absolutely. It's generally through EFS, pretty standard program. standard savings, 20 off cash price at most fuel stops. The kind of the benefit to it is obviously it kind of acts as a prepaid card. It's not a line of credit, so these guys can pay as they go if they need to. Let's say they throw an invoice in our system for $2,000, they can say, "Hey, throw 500 of that on the fuel card." So they're not having to always go out of pocket to load this thing up. Obviously, we can advance straight to the card as well, which is major, especially like you said, when some of these people are having to front gas, fuel costs up front when they book something. So it's an asset, and I think most people now, we're seeing more and more, almost everyone signing up for the program is getting the fuel card as well, just because it's that added benefit on the side.
Okay, definitely. And do you guys work with everybody, or is only like 30 people that they can go
There's
to?
discounts at all fuel stops.
Okay, does it come with the app that they have that they can just download on their phone and then they pretty much can know? Or I know some certain fuel cards have that.
So I believe it's linked to the mobile OTR app. We have a feature in there as well that is called the Fuel Finder. Basically, they can type in where's the diesel at, and it'll find you the lowest prices with the highest discounts closest to you, which has been a major hit as well. They can check balances through the OTR app as well. Okay.
And I'm asking these questions. I know the answer to some of these questions, but I'm just asking them so other people would know. Because I know when I watch interviews, man, and I'd be like, why didn't he ask that question? Ask all the juicy questions that we really need to know out here. So that's why I'm asking some of these questions with you, man.
Sure.
Question, tell me, and this is not getting to the end of the interview, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years going with your career with OTR, or moving somewhere else?
We'll see. I'm kind of moving into a role of trying to train some other people in the same position as mine, just to branch out a little bit and, make the connections with those dispatchers and those other carriers that are going to refer other business because, and I'm sure as Ebony's told people as well, if you call me, I'm going to answer, and if I don't, I'm going to call you back. And I want people to have my phone number because if they call me with an issue, I'm going to get it taken care of. And I want that mentality throughout the entire, companies as a whole, especially on the sales side when, these guys are relying on us. And that's the mentality I want everyone to have. So, kind of that leadership role and kind of training some of these guys up to make sure that they can offer that same level of consistency to a lot of these people is the main goal right now. As a current, love what I'm doing, love the team I'm on, the people I work with, and don't, really want that to change anytime soon. But there's always goals for the future and good ideas coming our way. So a couple of plans, but, as of right now, it's just taking care of my people and doing a good job.
I can tell you where I see Ole Miss in the next 5 years. No way.
Second place in the West every time.
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
So Jack, you obviously have relationships with different dispatchers, not just Ebony. Mm-hmm. So what's your method for referring out new carriers to different dispatchers? Do you have like a round robin situation, or you just got some favorites, or what? How does that work for you?
Well, Ebony's always on my phone, so I always think of her. She calls me about 7 times a week.
You ain't got a lot.
She's always popping up.
You ain't got a lot, man. I'm joking. Go ahead.
I try and distribute them as I can. Especially right now, it's more so convincing these carriers that they need a dispatcher because they don't want to hear it because they need the money so bad. They don't think paying the 10 to 12% is worth it, and it's almost like reselling another product because they don't understand 10% of zero is still zero, as I like to say. Like, you're sitting there complaining about rates and, not moving, but you don't want a dispatcher. So that's the biggest issue I run into. If they want a dispatcher, I've got people for them. I got good people for them, but they've got to be willing to take that step forward.
Facts. We definitely hear good things about you, man, and about the fact that one thing that you answer your phone. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. Triumph sucks because I got a lot of people over there with them, and they do not answer their phone. When you sign on with them, they picking up that phone and they emailing back. It's about that first. I got one problem. I don't know who to talk to, man. So that's one thing I've heard, not just from Ebony, but from other people about OTR. but definitely you is like, man, Jack's the man. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely good to hear, man. And we definitely want to send more people your way, because even if I don't benefit, we're us as a crew. It's like it's more than money. We just want to help people. So even if we're not getting no money or no kickback, if we can send somebody that's going to definitely help them, I get my blessings later on in life. It's all about pretty much helping people. So we definitely would send more people your way, brother.
Absolutely. We're here to help. I mean, that's the mentality. There's money there for everybody, but we're here to help first and foremost.
Nah, definitely. I don't have any more questions.
Appreciate you hating on me right now. But
you smiling over there, showing that pretty smile.
Like, he knows I'm gonna take care of whoever he sends me, right? And I'm gonna be transparent. So he already forewarned them what type of energy I'm bringing, right? Like he says, I call him 5 to 7 times. They call me at OTR his work wife, right? Because the communication that me and him had, no, seriously, no.
World going on.
About communication though, right? Just like, OTR does. Anybody I reach out to as far as OTR, whether it's an account manager, even the higher ups, I get an email back or I get a call back. It's not just Jack, it's the whole entire company, period, right? So that's why you see the heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying? They get sponsors through OTR Solutions because their name speaks for itself, right? I'm all about customer service, right? And once I get customer service, I know they're gonna take care of whoever I send over, and vice versa, And he knows I'm just not this dispatcher that's trying to get paid. I go the whole entire way for my carriers, right? And so when you do that, why would he send them to somebody else? But of course, he knows my niche too as well. I do high shots. High shots my niche. Mm-hmm. So of course, if he has a high shot person, he's gonna send them to me because he knows that I'm gonna take care of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Facts. If you got some power only or some dry vans, you can always send them me or James way. I don't know, James. You still dealing with power only James over there? You done gave up.
Man, I don't know, man. Dry vans or some reefers, I'll take them. I don't know about power only. He cares you have all the power only.
Hey,
man.
Ain't nothing but some money. Ebony, James, do we have any more questions for Jack? Or is that feedback? Is that my phone again? Is that my Metro? That's my Metro tripping? Whose phone is that? I guess
I'm talking. I'm muted, so it's not me.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, you got to save money in this market. I had to get the Metro. I'm joking. But anybody have any more questions for Jack before we go to the comment section, pretty much, to see if somebody got some comments for him?
No, I don't have any more questions.
No, I just want to say, man, thank you. We appreciate your time. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us and educate us and just answer questions. It's really good to get other people who are like really in this industry and get their perspective and everything. So appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been great getting to talk with y'all a little bit. Ebony, I'm sure I'll hit you up tomorrow and talk with you as well. But yeah, I really appreciate it. This has been great, guys. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, can we invite you on later at some other time when we got some more questions for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Just let me know.
That's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. I'm gonna be talking junk to you since we follow each other about your team and stuff. So
Good.
Probably
see you any other way.
What'd you say?
I wouldn't want it any other way.
You in Atlanta too, right?
No, so I started out in Atlanta. We opened an office out in Phoenix, Arizona, kind of help out the West Coast presence. So I'm out here now, still going back and forth. I'll be back in Atlanta closer to Christmas. See everybody.
Okay. All right, man. All right, then, Jack, man. Well, like I said, we thank you for coming on and blessing us with your presence, man, and answering all the questions. And I hope you have enjoy the rest of your day.
Y'all as well.
Thank you, Jack.
Thanks
we appreciate you.
All right, man. Y'all don't get off here, though. Y'all still stay on.
Oh, we know.
I'm not out. We got questions answered, right?
Yeah, man. You got it. You got it.
Let's see.
Oh man. So I gotta delete you or?
Yeah.
No, he said, do people have any questions?
Oh, okay. My bad. Look at me.
Man, especially if Ebony's calling. Oh my God.
People ask what's your email. Some people ask their email. Is that me?
Yeah, that's also asking for his email. I'll give that to also. But Jack's
Jack phone messed up. That was Jack with the Metro.
yeah, but Jack's co-worker said, call Jack and the man answers, especially if Ebony's calling.
Definitely, man. His work wife. Don't get Jack in trouble out here, man. That's what's up. I see you got the fig tree in the background, James. That thing?
Nah, man, this is plastic decoration, man. This is the ladies' work, man. This is decor, whatever.
Okay. I thought it was what Jesus came upon on a donkey or something like that. What he had passing out. I know a little bit about the Bible, just a little bit. It's been a crazy week. Well, the week just started, really. It's Tuesday. And I'm already saying it's been a crazy week.
It feels like
I know
Thursday or Friday, man. It's been so you know what I'm not gonna speak on it right now because it's probably certain people watching, so or they watch the replays or whatever. So I'm not gonna put nobody's personal business out there, but bruh, it's been this week, man. And when you was saying what you were saying about, I don't know, I might have to pivot.
Hey, that's
I better not give up.
Hey,
We supposed to be motivating people on here, man.
I'm giving up. But what I'm not gonna do, CJ, just like we just said,
I'm not gonna
chase money down. And we know how people can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
They can change their credit card or they can fraudulent, whatever they want to do. People go through hoops and bounds to do whatever they need to do. So they want to cure, even if you taking a credit card, because I do take a credit card consent form, and I do have a power of attorney in my agreement, right? So when I partner with OTR, which was great for me, when I finally partnered with them, that made me not have to worry about if I'm gonna get paid or not, right?
Yeah.
And I ain't on a low boy trying to say I got equipment and double broken and telling these carriers that I got freight, because I don't. I don't give two shits about, doing all that. I'm just trying to get my carrier from A to B.
I like that new shirt you got on, Ebony.
Yeah, thank you. This is one of my new, but also I am changing my name as well.
What is it? Time of Essence Solutions?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna change it to.
No, she's serious, or consultant or something like that.
No, I'm changing it to Solutions because I am people's solution.
Why my boy always come on here in the dark, yo?
I don't know why also do that.
Yeah,
I don't know why you don't want people to see him.
Be doing the
he makes our YouTube looks bad.
Champagne room. Why you be talking to us?
What is this? Wakanda forever? Goddamn.
Who did that? Hey, we got a joke with you also, man. What's up? How's it been going up there in PA, man? PA sucking, man. Pissed off at PA.
My struggles with PA has been trying to find same day deliveries.
Yeah.
That's the problem that I'm having. Being that that's what I do. That's my bread and butter. A lot of these warehouses don't have space. They're backed up with freight, so they're not offloading as quick. So these 60, 70-mile deliveries that I'm used to, used to be my bread and butter. They're telling me they want next day delivery. I'm like, come on, man, it's only 50 miles. But some people still take a chance and still go. They get rejected. Sometimes it works out, but for the most part, Jersey freight is washed. So remember, I do Jersey, Pennsylvania, back and forth. Pennsylvania, I do have a lot of success in Pennsylvania, but for late pickups. For same day deliveries, not so much. Now, when I get them offered to me by my direct customers, it works out. But when I have to use the low board, man, listen. Listen, man. I don't listen, man. I'm like, listen, just go back to Pennsylvania. Don't even call me. There's nothing. You know, now, here's the thing. Like, and I think you mentioned this 4 lives ago. Like, you got to have a cutoff time on when to move on. And I already know what's my cutoff time. So since I've been doing this for a while, I already know by like 9:30, 10 o'clock. If I don't find that straight through load, hey, book a load, picking up today, delivering tomorrow. We move on to the next. We move on to the next thing.
Say that one more time.
All right.
Speak up.
So
For the new dispatchers, that right there was a gem. Say that one more time. What you just said for the new dispatchers.
All right, so Karen, so I know you mentioned, or I think James did, you guys wait until 12 noon time. It's like the cutoff when you decide. But in this market, I'm sorry. Me, 9:30, 10 o'clock is it for me. The moment I see time is ticking, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9:15, and I'm looking, I'm refreshing the page, and I'm emailing my brokers, and they're getting back to me. No, Ozzy, nothing. I'm like, all right, I got to do something. And I mean, it's serious. I mean, it's if you decide to take it, like, here's the thing. Sometimes I gamble, but I gamble smart. It works out. And when I gamble, it doesn't work out. I'm still content with the result because I did it for a reason. But see, some people will get to that level. I mean, once they have the experience. But for the new dispatchers, I don't recommend you take a gamble. I recommend you have a time when to know, it's time to move on to, a different area or whatever the case may be. But for the ones who have a little bit more experience, we can gamble a little bit more than others.
Let me touch on that what you just said, because I said new dispatchers because when I was new, I was that type that would keep waiting, and it'll get to the point. And I'll be like, damn, I could have booked that load at 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock because I end up pretty much booking that same load at pretty much at 2 o'clock or something like that. Or I probably had somebody sitting and then I had to have, convince them to work the weekend so we can make up that day. So that's why I got you to definitely mention that. Dang, I lost my train of thought. I
do gotta say one thing. So it's very important. So during the pandemic, I used to see 1,000 to 1,200 loads in certain areas, right? Jersey, Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania, mechanic. What happened?
It's still that way in Pennsylvania, not to interrupt you, but go ahead.
Pennsylvania, I mean, you might get like high 800s, 700s, but today, for instance, I was in Mechanicsburg, and there was only 400 loads, and by like 11 o'clock in the morning, again, now by 11 o'clock in the morning, it was down to like 150, and by 1 o'clock, it was down to 80. I'm like, damn. So now here's the thing. So when I wake up in the morning and I have to use the load board, the first thing I pay attention to is the load count. Because remember, I'm only going to one state. So imagine how difficult it is for me. I'm only going to one state and I still make it happen. Now, here's the thing. So I look at the load count. So I know it's, brokers coming around 8:30, it's 8:45. People are posting loads, taking them down, putting them back up. Like I want the board to be at least, I'm gonna be fair, at least around 600, 650. If I see it's 400, 450, and it's like 950, I don't have any anticipation it's going to get any better. So that's when I know it's time to do something. So the low count gives it away for me. Again, that's just my area, but pay attention to the low count. And if you see that time is ticking, and it's like from 435, drops down to 415, to 400, 405, that's not a good sign.
That's a gem right there. A lot of people don't know that, and it takes you a while and a lot of messing up to kind of figure that out, what you're talking about right there. I know me, James, and Ebony, and you yourself know that, but a lot of new dispatchers don't know what
Oh,
you're talking about right there.
well, the thing is, again, since I know Pennsylvania like very well in Jersey, I know
Yeah,
what's what. And it's funny because remember, I only utilize two major interstates, 78 and 76. I don't go northeast in PA. I don't go towards Pittsburgh. I try to avoid Philly. Philly is nothing but traffic tolls and just, tickets. That's all I gotta say. Cops giving tickets for no reason. So so I try to avoid Philly as much as possible. Tight streets. You got to back in like you got to have somebody in the street stop traffic for you to back into a dock. It's just very uncomfortable. Um, so once you know the area well, and once you are able to see the freight on the board and already know where it's going without you having to call, you
yeah,
you will start to get a little bit, you'll start to be able to filter out these loads better. Again, this is when I have to use the load board. Again, I mean, I'm to you right now, man. I try not to go on there, man, because it's like a factory line, man, and sometimes you feel like you have to take it. If not, you're gonna be on there for another 3 hours. That's just the way it is. It's sad it has gotten like that. Matter of fact, this afternoon, I have a connect over at Molo Solutions. So I used so I haul pallets. I like to haul pallets because it's a little heavy, but the places that I needed to go, it takes me there. And I usually get around 650, 700 for 120 miles, right? I combine it with another load for another 700, make it 1350, 14 for the day. I'm good with that. Hey, to be local, sure, I'm good with that.
that's
But guess
great.
but guess what? Guess
But
what? And again, it's all under 350 miles, 300 miles sometimes. But the broker goes, "Hi, Ozzy, another broker is in it." And he goes, "Damn, I'm sorry to tell you, you got booked." I said, "For how much?" She goes, 500. I'm like, "Stop playing." I'm like, "Hazleton, that's all hills up there." Like, Ozzy, you have no idea. She said, "Yep, they booked it for $500." Now, the original carrier that fell off was at 650. The new carrier that booked it got it for 500.
mm,
So a lot of these carriers are doing it to themselves and don't even know it. But desperate times call for desperate measures. I mean, I really can't blame that carrier. Now, I would have got it for 650, 700. Again, I'm cool with that because I already have a plan, another load after that. So to me, it is what it is. I mean, it works for me. But a lot of these people can't do that. They just go in there blindly because they really have no other choice. But they're really not winning anything going there for $500. I mean, if you're in Hazleton, I mean, listen, because again, I know Listen, man, it's crazy. I know Pennsylvania so well. Like, if you go to Hazleton around 3, 4 p.m., unless you're grabbing some heavy ass water out of Allentown, or you're going up to like Procter and Gamble over in Tunkahonic, which is about an hour 30 minutes out your way, you ain't getting out.
And that's because a lot of these carriers are new people that's in the industry don't know what that lane was originally running for, and they tend to don't do that research or due diligence, and they just taking anything. As we can see, nobody wants to speak on it, but I believe the brokers are out here suffering too, because again, supply and demand. If shippers don't have anything, if nothing's, I know it's some issues going on with the import export shit that's coming off ships and shit like that. Like, if you're not doing your research, then you definitely are not keeping up with the industry that you so-called trying to get rich in, right?
yeah,
So, that's a lot of people's problem there too. You have carriers turning down loads when they think something's gonna come better.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I'm just stating the facts. People that don't want to move. I know, safety is everything to us, right? But you in an industry where it's times, unless you got the capital to shut your truck down during the wintertime months, then
can't do it.
it's no way around it.
Yeah,
Everybody thinks, you can move down south all the time when down south ain't given to you. I seen where B Logistics posted today when he's posted he's selling his new high shot course, whatever. He stated, like, he only take over the road carriers, which I do too. Because I'm not gonna deal with no part-time person that want to be home every week, right? I can't guarantee that. Like right now, it's still, if you over the road, if I see a load going to your hometown, I might have to bring you home earlier than expected. Because in this market, it's no predictions. And coming down south half of the time, hey man,
You know what's so crazy
you
about
might
that?
get gas money, if that.
You know what's so crazy about that local? I talk to so many drivers that's local, and they say even though they get to come home every night, they still don't see their family because they come home at 7 or 8 o'clock, and they probably tired. They get kiss their kids, and pretty much they going straight to bed and getting right back out early in the morning before they even get to see their kids. So it's like everybody hollers is local, local, local. Not saying that you shouldn't achieve that, try to achieve that, but it really ain't what they think. You know what I'm saying?
Now here's the thing. That's a great point because I'm gonna tell you a perfect scenario. You actually work harder local because you trying to make over the road money being local.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. You better have a really good dispatcher that knows how to pair up loads. The only way you accomplish that, like you have to have good timing. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, you have to know what commodities are first come, first serve. You have to avoid appointments. You have to avoid DCs. You have to avoid certain commodities. It's a lot. So the way I dominated it is very, very hard to mimic that because I have a lot of customers and commodities I stay away from because I have been able to dominate the what I do. Now, people, they go on Facebook, say, oh, grab 2 loads a day. Yeah, you could probably do it on a Monday, but try doing it Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and see how far you get. So, yeah, you actually work harder local because you're hustling. You do a same-day delivery, drop that off, pick up a next one, you drive, shut down, check your restart, go to a truck stop, sleep 4 or 4 hours, wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, deliver that load. So it's a lot of back and forth with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can make money. You make 14 a day. You can make 16 a day, 12 a day, 1,000 a day. Sometimes you might just get one load, make 700 a day. But you have to live with the results though, because you might make, let's say, 2,400 in 2 days and make 700 one day. You see what I'm saying? So you have to live with the result because not every day you will get 2 loads. And recently, nobody has been able to do 2 loads every single day ever since this whole shift. You might get, like I usually target between 7 to 8 loads a week. Some guys do 6 loads a week. So yeah, I mean, I just know how to mix them around. And I'm gonna give you guys some insight on what I do. Now, you might call me crazy. You might call me, why I do that. I'm gonna tell you why. When I book loads, I book from Friday up. I don't work from Monday down. I'm gonna tell you what I do. I already have a load booked for next Monday already, picking up at 4 p.m. Why? Because I already know somebody gonna be in the area. So I book ahead as much as possible. I don't let the freight catch up to me. I already have loads booked for next Monday, for next Wednesday, because I'm confident I'm gonna find a way how to get there. Because since I have trucks, I have multiple trucks. I move around. I move around like a chess piece.
Hey, it's
Okay, let me ask you a question also. So with you booking up, who are you putting these on? Is you getting a certain MC number or you
Absolutely. So here's what I do. So I'm gonna give you information. So a broker calls me, hey Ozzy, I got this lane from Mechanicsburg going to Newark. I tell him put any MC on it. So he will put any MC that I dispatch him, that he knows that I dispatch. And then when the time comes, if he's there, I give it to him. If not, hey Ray Sean, can you switch it to this MC? He switches over, revise the Raycon, send it over.
Oh, okay. So that just needed clarification. You don't, and of course, you just move certain states. You only move through Jersey and PA. So I don't suggest this for newcomers that don't know what they're doing. If they moving all around the country, no, I don't suggest that.
Now here's the thing. So And what he also does too, he sees a load pop up, he puts my MC on, he puts my MCs on it. Hey Ozzy, I put this MC on your load. You want it? Absolutely, I want it. All right.
Yeah.
What MC? Just put whatever MC, and I'll figure it out when the day comes.
But that's about relationships, right?
Exactly.
That we talk about all the time. So you got to build up that relationship. And so that's why I tell even carriers that sign on with me, you have to build your relationships, and it all comes with communication, timing. I can't stress this enough. You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to depend on you and whatever your company's name is, because at the end of the day, we are giving your company name is on the side of that door. Your company name is with that MC or DOT number, right? So, and we're a representation of your company, right? But we can only do that if it's reciprocated, right? So if they're not reciprocating the same thing as far as communication and understanding how important it is, then what can you do?
You can only give it to certain drivers, though. Like you have to know your drivers. Now, I know out of my guys, I can probably trust 3 to I can book confidently out like that. But I do it like that, and I take chances because that's the only way that I'm gonna get ahead. That's the only way that I know how to do it. I'm an aggressive dispatcher. I'm aggressive by I'm an aggressive person. When it comes to dispatch, I'm aggressive. I take chances. I roll the dice. Why? Because this is the market that, hey, if you don't give it a shot, you'll never know. So me, I take chances. Now I'm gonna tell you now, I'm successful probably about 80% of the time. But again, I don't recommend any dispatcher to do this because you have to be good at what you do. You have to know how freight moves. You have to know how commodity moves. You have to know, what lanes you do consistently and what brokers hit you up often on certain days of the week. It's a lot. It's a lot. So, it works out. It works out for me. Sometimes, I have to deadhead and bite the bullet. Sometimes, but even when I deadhead, my guys still end up having a good week. So, like I said, I take a lot of gamble because that's the only way that I know how to do it.
It's crazy you said that. I was telling you that a couple of weeks ago. That like I'll book a load for Monday. And then on Tuesday, I go see what's the hottest loads on Friday. Yeah. I type in Michigan. Huh?
I said, position your truck there, and then you'll be there to pick it up.
And I book a load for Friday. It'll be Monday. I'm booking a load for Friday for like 2,500 or 2,900. I just booked a Christmas tree load for 2,900, 2,950 actually. And I booked that early, and I just said, fuck it, I gotta find a way up there.
Well, you see what I'm saying? Well, that only makes you better as a dispatcher.
Yeah, because you're gonna know how to move how to move your carrier on the chessboard. You know what I'm saying?
Because you get sharper now. See me? I play chess all day, man. Me, I gamble. I mean, like one thing about me, I'm not gonna be lackadaisical. I'm not gonna let the freight beat me. My drivers know that I get aggressive. I mean, if I got to take a chance blindly, hey, I'll figure something out. I'll combine something up. I'll figure it out. But I got to do it because that's the only way. The way the market has changed, that's the only way that I could do it because it's the only way that I'm gonna get ahead. Now, I know Ebony mentioned something about the market next year. Now, she's absolutely right. Because here's a question that I have: what do you see happening next year that's going to shift everything up and all of a sudden the rates get better? What do you see happening next year?
Nothing.
Not much. Exactly. So my question is, all right, so you have the first 3 months of the year, right? Relatively slow, right? You got the reefers waiting for their season to start. Now, aside from that, right? Why do you think all these big companies are laying off people and buying each other out and merging together? It's for a reason.
Come on now, you better speak that out loud, just like I just said.
It's for a reason.
If we're not talking about it, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's talking about it, but I truly believe brokers are suffering as well. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's no freight being posted. As you can see, if you're paying attention to the load board, it's several of them putting on there that they bidding on the load if you call them on it, right? Secondly, they're loading the boy with the same fucking thing like 50,000 times to
Yeah.
make it looks like. And see, that's what's pissing me off about that. They letting them load that board up like it's so many fucking loads out there when it's fucking
It's not.
when it's not
It's
there.
not. Now remember, only 10% of the 90% of the loads are contracted by carriers, right? Contracted lanes. 10% of the loads are put on the load board. Now the rejection rate right now is like at a 4.3%. You'll start to see a change if it starts to reach 7%. But ain't nobody rejecting freight right now. Everybody's taking what they can get.
Nah, it's people rejecting freight.
Well, I mean, they're rejecting it, but I mean, by the time it hits the low board, it's already cut, sliced and diced about 4
you
times.
talking about as far as contracted carriers.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody rejecting no contracted freight.
That's what I mean.
No.
They're not rejecting
But the people that don't have contracted freight, they're rejecting loads because they think something else, they're going to get something better or something higher. And it's not going to be there. The load has been cut like 15,000 times when it gets to the load board. So
contractor rates are hard to really reject right now. Now, when it's time to renegotiate the rates at the end of the year, then it'll be up for bidding. So the shippers, going to see who's the next lowest bidder. So
Question.
Yeah.
Question also, not to interrupt you, because I know Pittsburgh is snowy right now. What are you doing about the snow? What are you telling your drivers about the snow? How are you dealing with that? Because your whole state about to be shut down in a little bit. So
PA is usually one of the states that have all these damn commercial bans. Now what I do, it's a challenge, but I try to stay east and west. If I go northeast PA, that's where you start getting the hills, the tight turns like Hazleton, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. That's all hills up there. That's all dangerous. 81 going up there. So I try to stay as much on 78 where it's all flats. I try to stay like in Reading, Allentown, and back to Jersey, and just kind of go east and west. But with the limited freight available, I mean that's hard to do anyway. But yeah, I mean I just try to stay on the flats as much as possible. I mean, PA is known for having a lot of back roads, a lot of farms, a lot of like tight roads. So what I usually do is I try to keep it as much as possible. I try to do some interstate, some back roads, but as long as we're not going to no high altitude, I mean I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right. We're gonna have to cut this short, man. You're giving a lot of gems, but it's
it's all for free, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, listen. Hey, whoever wants to try out what I do here in Pennsylvania, give it a shot. I mean, it's cool with me. It's a lot of work, but let me tell you right now, man, you gotta know what you're doing. I don't recommend.
They're not gonna be able to do that off the load board though.
No.
Just be honest with them. Like I said.
Listen,
it's transparency over here on my end. I'm gonna say what the hell I want to say. Like I said, people ain't talking about it, but brokers out here struggling as well. Shit, it ain't no. Because if they wasn't, why are y'all underbidding each other? You see what I'm saying?
Ebony, why you keep saying that the brokers are struggling? Because I'm hearing people saying the brokers has got. I mean, it's not a big pie, but they got the biggest piece of the pie right now. So why?
Yeah, they got the biggest piece of the pie, but also if a shipper ain't got shit to ship out, then James, you got a lot of people undercutting too.
They're underbidding each other. They're underbidding each other. Yeah, so
they underbidding each other.
Yeah, so there's a lot of brokers right now.
I have seen that where I'll call on a load and they be like, okay, what's your best? And I'll be like, okay, give them a number. Okay, let me check with the customer. So it's like, yeah, I have seen that more so. The bidding in there, especially with the brokers that it's kind of hard to understand what they're saying. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, who are those, James?
The ones with the accents.
Go ahead and get counted.
Also, TQL always come underbid people as well. They underbid. They really undercut some motherfuckers. I'm just saying, TQL is one of the biggest brokerage firms that always undercut too.
They are, because they can afford to do that. They can afford to make $5 on a load because they got 10 million of them.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying. But of course, they eat. Okay, when a broker do secure whatever a lane, right? And that's fine. But if somebody else contact this same shipper and say we can move it for cheaper, they done lost that lane. Nothing's safe right now, James. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
why I say no. They getting a bigger piece of the pie when they do secure a lane. But I truly believe they out here fucking struggling as well because again, supply and demand.
Yeah.
Big time, big time, big time.
Yeah, nobody like TQL,
Guys,
don't say that name on this podcast.
I gotta say, guys, take chances, take more chances. If you see what you're doing is you know, it's you're trying to do the same thing every week. Take chances, see how it works. I mean, that's how I learned. I took chances. I said, you know what, it is what it is, man. I'm gonna go here in faith, and we'll figure something out. And you know, it works out 80% of the time. But my carriers know that I'm aggressive, and you know, and we'll take a chance.
People gonna have to start taking chances now, because it's about to get snowy. You're gonna have to find different routes. You can't send anybody up north now.
Ebony,
And
I'm gonna follow your lead, Ebony. What we pivoting to?
And another thing,
Truck.
for the carriers, you're switching dispatchers because they're probably they charging you a cheaper rate. They still not gonna be able to find you shit no better than if you was paying 10% and 3%, right? They're selling you a fucking lie. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no secure lanes. They don't.
Because they don't.
They
the ones
fucking
with the
lying.
what? Because they the ones with the what, James?
The accents. Hey, them dispatchers be charging. They be charging 1.5%, man. You call them and you try to speak English, and it's good luck with that. It's not working.
Of course, because back in their country, that's just worth like $1 million. You know, they could do that.
Yeah. It's the exchange rate. You're absolutely right. You
know, they're fighting a war.
I feel like I said this before. My cousin was a company driver. He said he was working with it. The company he was leased on to, he was driving, and he was like in his contract because he was like, man, I'm gonna come holler at you. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. But he was saying that the dispatcher he was working with had 30. It might have been 40, but I know for sure it was at least 30 trucks. Now, how in the world is one person gonna dispatch 30 trucks? And he was like, they was just sending them anywhere. They'd be like, here, take it.
No, they sourcing it overseas.
Yeah, he was going to North Dakota and, you know, all the places where you can't get out of. And it's just, he was talking about, it's crazy. Like, he had the deadhead from North Dakota, like, back to, like, Minnesota or something, like, to get to a decent city where some freight was at. It was crazy, man.
But it's even bigger companies that's doing that where drivers are getting stuck in places where they're sitting for days. You know what I'm saying? Even now, even as I'm just watching social media or on TikTok, you see drivers that's been stuck for days trying to either go towards home. They're just sitting. Of course, these companies that you either work for or you leasing on, they cut the fuel cord off until they find you a load, right? They send you a load. They want you to go other places other than when it's time for you to get home. But they're not telling the honest God truth. Sometimes right now, you can't even guarantee nobody no home, like get you straight home. You get what I'm saying? Directly into your fucking state where you actually live at. I wouldn't guarantee none of that bullshit at all. So if you prepared, you might have to deadhead home without nothing on your back. It's the transparency for me right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm just sick of seeing motherfuckers out here lie.
I told Ebony today that I'm gonna have a conversation with all my drivers and tell them pretty much that we got to bring the expectations down to like maybe 5 a week, and we're gonna have to get uncomfortable. If your max deadhead was 100 miles, we gonna have to take it up to 150, and I can't charge, and we can't add that into the rates right now. If your max weight was 40,000 pounds, some of these loads might have to be 44,000 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'll try my best not to make them all 44,000, but like Innovative Logistics said, it's like this is not the market that we can be picky in. You know what I'm saying? As a dispatcher, I try my best, like I said, to make sure that I can try to meet those requirements. But right now, we're gonna have to get freaky, baby. We're gonna have to do some
Because
different
also you
things.
see the shippers, they need to maximize, they need to minimize, so
Yeah.
they're putting more freight as far as weight. You get what I'm saying? But it is people that's out here being picky, and that's why you need to make a decision if you're a carrier to shut your truck down. Now, I would say that, hopefully your carriers listen to you, because I tried to take a Saturday out of my time to host a Zoom call where only two of my owners showed up when I sent out a text message saying owners and drivers, because it also includes your drivers, because they get paid a certain percentage off however much loads they move, right?
Yeah.
So they need to be included in the conversation.
You know, it's funny.
And owners need to be realistic. They're not going to make as much money as they think they're supposed to see on the other side. You get what I'm saying? That's why I always say you break even. Know that at least you need to be trying to figure that out at least once a month or twice a month, because that shit gonna change.
You know, it's funny. When you type in a load on a load board and just put it, let's say you just put in like PA, like 1,400 loads will come up. Then you type in weight, 41,000 pounds. It'll drop. It'll drop to like 800 loads. Then you type in deadhead 100. That shit'll drop all the way to like 300 loads, yo. So look at how many loads you done missed out on. So like right now, we gotta, like Ebony said, we gotta pretty much do some things that's, out of character right now. Cause like I said, if I type in a state like PA, it'll have 1,400 loads. I type in deadhead under 100, and I type in weight under 41 or 42. That 1,400, I promise you, will drop to like 300 or 400 loads. So that's how many loads you are missing out on just because you're trying to be particular sometimes. So, and this is not the market that we can do that in. As my sister so elegantly put it.
What saying, absolutely right. Like I just went through this with one of my carriers. Your break even numbers and everything, and it's just you gotta know your numbers, and you gotta be realistic with your numbers. If your numbers if they're not working for you, they're not working for you. Like it is what it is, man. It's unfortunate. But like Jack was saying, we was talking about like this purge is going to be real. Like it's going to be people that's going to be turning their trucks in, turning their trailers in, giving up their authorities. Now, whether they lease on to somebody or if they just get out the industry completely, like, man, I got my CDL, I'm about to go drive a school bus or whatever, like who knows what's going to happen in the future. But the purge is going to happen. It's going to be real. It's going to affect a lot of carriers. And I think it's also going to affect brokers as well, because you know what I'm saying? Like they don't have the same overhead, but they, you got to make money to stay in business. You can't stay in business if you're not, hitting your numbers every week or every month or whatever. So,
you see the purge with the bigger companies. They laying off people.
Yep.
From C.H. Robinson, one of the biggest brokerage companies.
Like,
you see FedEx Freight finna lay off people.
Yep.
You see big companies buying out other companies. Like, I don't know what else to,
I think one of the biggest problems with drivers, because I had to talk to one of my drivers, because they didn't really think about it until I broke it down. I think a lot of these drivers come in thinking that they're really going to get rich off one truck. And they be planning to buy houses, a Corvette and a new house. And I had to tell them, it's like, I told one of my drivers, and I was like, if I only dispatch one truck, I'll be broke. The way I start making more money is having 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. If I got 10 drivers, now I'm making money. And I said, that's the way pretty much how you got to think. That one truck that you have is just paying the bills. Now, when you like pay off some of that and then you get you another truck, that's when you're going to pretty much kind of like somewhat start the ball or whatnot, or be able to take trips. But a lot of these drivers really think that one truck can really get out here and make some real movements when that's not the case or whatnot. What do you think about that, Ebony?
Basically, they just need to get their credit together and no, seriously, and structure their business correctly. This is the only way you're gonna pivot and see that. You gotta be able to use credit. Like, I'm serious.
No, definitely.
You gotta be able to invest, right? You can't keep taking your cash dollars and going to buy some equipment, right? It's just inevitable. This country is ran off credit.
Let me see if what's the name. Hold on right quick. I don't know if he jumped. Did he leave this jump? I was gonna try to. What's the old boy? Dang, he done left. I think did he leave? Try to see if I. Let me see if he'll go live real quick. I just added this guy. I added him. He does dispatching too, and he makes content. Trying to see if he'll go live. I don't know if he'll go live. Trucking with Moon. You want to go live real quick, bro? My fault. I can't join right now. Okay. It's all good, man. I was gonna get you on real quick, but definitely. Credit. I think me and you talked about that too, Ebony, today. It was either you or James. If I was to do it all over again, and I was still working at my job, that would be probably the first thing that I would do is before I even quit my job, I would have got my credit A1. It's not bad. It's not like a 5, but it's not where I want it. I probably would have stayed an extra 6 months to make sure my jump was I just would have suffered. I just would have said, F it. I'm going to stay an extra 6 months or even a year. Now looking back at it and get my credit right. And that's what I would tell a dispatcher or anybody that's about to quit a job and jump out there, man. Just suffer just 6 more months. If it takes 8 more months, another year, get your credit right, stack a little more cheese or whatever, and then jump out there.
But nothing's safe. Even having a job, that's not even secure. I mean, we don't know what this world is about to do. This inflation, this recession, nothing's safe.
I'm just saying, if I was to start all over, I would.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but nothing's safe at this point. Shit, you probably biting your nails right now. Hopefully, just like I think Earn Your Leisure was talking about how Twitter laying off people. All these people are laying off these different people.
Amazon,
so it's scary across the board in all the industries. It's nothing safe.
None. You're right. It's the time right now that if you got those extra little bills that you got, the Netflix, if you don't really watch Netflix, it might be a time to cut it off. I don't know, the Disney Plus, just that extra stuff might need to the DoorDashes. Like I would say, I cut my DoorDash down. I actually literally deleted the app because I was spending $150 to $200 a week. I deleted that app. Now I'm buying everything from the grocery store just to have more money back in the pocket because something may happen. So that's definitely right, Ebony. We definitely got to do something about that. It's 9 o'clock where y'all at. It's 10:25 over here. So
I know. Well,
I know y'all over there still living La Vida Loca, man. I'm old. I'm about to get in bed and stuff.
What episode was this? And
episode 24.
Okay.
Yeah, come on, girl.
We appreciate Jack from OTR Solutions coming on and bless our podcast. Thank you so much, Jack. We appreciate you. And that's all I have, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody coming on. Check out my girl Ebony's Black Friday special. Ebony, you want to shout that out? I can plug this in on the podcast when I do it on YouTube.
So if you're still looking to get into this industry, I'm definitely having a Black Friday sale on mentorship and my course. Definitely tap in. It will be 50% off on my website and things. I do have a link in my bio, so go check that out.
Yeah, and you get one free call with our homie CJ. I come on and give you the what is it? The power only game for 2 hours. I just added that in on her special. That's even more gems. Boop 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 boop. Put the explosion.
That's facts.
2 hour free call because you know good well I can't tell all the stuff I want to tell in an hour. I really can't tell it in 2 hours. I really need 3 hours, but I can't give you 3. I give you 2 for free. But nah, that's dead serious. I come on all your calls and do that or anything they need to know as far as well, you already know all about semis, but if you need some help as far as power only, some crap like that. James, anything with you, buddy?
Man, I'm gonna say know your numbers and keep pushing. That's really it. That's all I got to say right now.
Man, why I feel like it's a Thursday, man. We've been going. I swear these last 2 days make it feel like it's a Thursday already.
Hey, it's been rough.
Bro, I'm ready for the weekend.
Like,
It's Tuesday. I'm ready for the weekend, man. Because we going out of town. I'm like, man, I can't wait till the weekend get here so I can get on this plane and get up out of here. Just take my mind off everything.
Yeah, it's been rough. So.
Yeah, man, I might be going somewhere. For the holidays. It's holidays, man. Thanksgiving, man.
I want to hear that crap. God dang it. What's up, man? You still working out, man?
Who, me?
Nah, you. That eye.
Yeah, man. I went hard today. I'm back in the gym. Yeah, like that. I'm wiped out, bro. I'm about to go to bed.
Hey, that's one thing we got to keep doing, man. We all of us, me, Ebony, and James, health is wealth, man. We owe. It ain't, we don't look like it, but we owe. So health is wealth. We can't spend all this money.
Catch me working out next after Thanksgiving,
See, that's the thing. I told myself I was gonna work out this week coming up, like, cause where we stand, they got a gym. So I was like, I gotta get in there at least.
Work all the way up to Thanksgiving and glutton yourself and then work out after it. Why stop?
Well, I had been put on some new medicine. I did have to stop working out. So that's why y'all haven't been seeing me posting, but I'm gonna get back to it after Thanksgiving. So
you'll be surprised, man. You posting your workout actually motivates people. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised. Like if I see you, it's been times, and this is no lie, not even like, some people like makeup stuff. It's been times that I would see you post something like when you was in the gym and you'll put your phone down and you'll be over there about to die, something like that, looking like you about to die. And I didn't run that morning. I'd be like, dang, I need to go run. You really don't know that sometimes posting really is motivating somebody. You're just motivating somebody. So definitely, man, work out. You telling James, you telling me, goddamn, you worked out. That's what's up. I worked out before on the podcast. So now, man, we definitely gotta do that.
I went hard. I feel like I did. So I fell off. I'm not gonna lie. I fell off completely, and I'm getting back in the swing of things. But I got my watch, whatever, getting my rings. I did decent amount of calories, put some time in, lift a little bit of weights, rode the bike. I'm still trying to get my knee right so I can start running again. But I did my cardio on the bike, so I think I had a good workout today.
Definitely. All right, this has been another episode of Dispatching Eavesdropping Knowledge, and we out.
We out. See you guys later.